Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another mildly interesting video. If there is one thing that I learned by making 5 videos on this channel, is that my door doesn't get enough screen time. So let's celebrate his new anniversary of showing up on screen by opening up this door and seeing what awaits on the other side. Well, it seems like a war zone out there, so in the meantime, let's talk about something to pass the time. Anyone heard of Suzume? Suzume, the latest Makoto Shinkai film that just released last November and March here in Indonesia. Now, you probably recognize the director of Suzume, Makoto Shinkai. He was the director of Your Name and Weathering With You. Both of those movies were critically acclaimed movies. Pretty much everyone loved them. They all got high ratings. I personally watched both of those films and I absolutely loved them. So I kind of had some high hopes for this movie, although I didn't put my hopes up too high. And let's just say, I was still blown away. It is absolutely incredible. I watched it with a couple of friends last Saturday and it is phenomenal. It is really amazing. This may very well be Makoto Shinkai's greatest work, if not his second greatest, just behind Your Name. Now, for this video, we are once again going to be breaking down the movie into 4 sections. The visuals, the audio, the characters, and the plot. So, let's begin. Part 1, the visuals. As is custom with every single Makoto Shinkai movie, it looks incredible. The lighting looks absolutely incredible. The shading absolutely looks incredible. The character designs, I really liked some of them, although... Now, when I first saw Suzume's character design on the trailers, it kind of felt a little awkward, but over time I've started to love it a little more. It's really good to me in my eyes now. So yeah, as is custom, the lighting and shading are great. The colorings are great. It's, at some points, it actually, almost looked like it's real life in a way, which is surprising to say for an animated movie. I fully know that this is an animated movie. This is anime. I think that is saying something. His visuals has definitely improved over time, starting from Your Name and going up to Weathering With You and then going to Suzume. You can see that the art quality or the animation quality has improved over time. And Suzume is no exception. I think it surpassed my expectations for what this film could look like. It is absolutely incredible to look at. And just with the visuals, this movie is already worth the watch. Part 2, the audio aspect of this. The soundtrack. The soundtrack is incredible. It really feels like so much more upgraded than the tones and soundtracks pieces of Weathering With You and Your Name. And the reason was because Radwimps, who have worked with Makoto Shinkai for the past 2 movies, they actually collaborated with someone else to help make the soundtrack for this. Kazuma Jinochi. He was the one that helped produce the choral voices that you sometimes hear in the soundtrack, and it's absolutely incredible. I can't really play the soundtrack on YouTube videos because copyright exists. It is a very real thing, and I'm very sorry, but go listen to the soundtrack on Spotify. It is absolutely incredible. Part 3, the characters. The chemistry between Suzume and Sota is absolutely amazing. It's completely well done. You really get to feel for them. You get to emphasize with both of them. You get to see the relationship grow with each other as the journey goes on. Even when Sota is turned into a chair at the very beginning, you're still able to feel for him. You're still able to be happy with him. You're still able to be sad with him. You can clearly see that there is a really, really good chemistry with Suzume and Sota, even though he is a literal yellow kid's chair. I think that is absolutely amazing work. And the fact that they're able to make you feel for and even cry over a yellow kid's chair, I think that is some really great writing and really great dynamics between the 2 main characters. And for the aunt, Makoto Shinkai doesn't really skimp out on her character development either. She starts off as this really protective aunt of Suzume, into being able to slowly understand why is she doing all of the things she did, and is able to understand and empathize with her because of her past experiences, as well as the experiences that she is going through as of right now. That is absolutely amazing. Part 4, the plot. Were you confused about the whole Sota turning into a yellow kid's chair thing? Don't worry, I got you covered. Here's how the plot goes according to the trailer, because I don't really want to give away any big spoilers. All across Japan, in abandoned places, there are doors that allow these interdimensional worms to pass through and cause earthquakes all over Japan. And so it's the job of these closers, one of them being Sota, to close and lock these doors to make sure that these worms can't get past. But one day, Suzume encounters one of these doors and opens it up without realizing it, causing an earthquake on her town and having to help Sota close it. Over time, they start to bond with each other until one day a mysterious cat comes over to Suzume's house and turn Sota into a yellow kid's chair, the same one that Suzume has in her room. And so now, Sota has to capture that cat to make sure that he can be turned back into a human, but at the same time, Suzume now has to lock these doors with Sota's guidance because, Sota's a literal chair. I'm pretty sure chairs don't have hands that they can lock doors with. And over time, they start to really bond with each other, they start to fall in love with each other, even though Sota is a literal chair. We have discussed about this in the past part of this video. But the plot, oh my goodness, the plot is absolutely amazing. There were some plot twists here and there that just completely change your view on what the characters were doing the entire time, and the plot is still absolutely amazing. There's tons of action and tons of emotion at the same time. I'll say this, we haven't seen this much action in any other Makoto Shinkai movie except this one. One thing that I do have against this movie, however, is the humor. The humor can feel off at times, and the timing can, feel really off. Like, when you're doing something emotional, there's just, this joke that's, inserted in that is honestly, that kind of just kills the mood overall for that scene. But if you're able to look past that, everything else is really, really, really amazing. Like I said in the beginning, this may very well be Makoto Shinkai's greatest film, if not his second greatest behind Your Name. Well, somehow I managed to get 6 minutes out of that, so let's go check on the door to see if there's anything new, if anything has even changed about the war zone out there. Looks like eternal damnation for me.